Welcome to Silent Secrets. In today's video, we are diving into one of the most painful, confusing, and life-changing experiences a man can ever face. When the woman you love, the one you trusted with your heart and your future, betrays you, society will tell you that cheating is cheating, that it doesn't matter if a man does it or a woman does it, that the damage is the same, and that the betrayal carries equal weight. But if that were really true, why do women initiate the majority of divorces? Why do women's affairs end relationships nearly twice as often as men's? The answer is uncomfortable. The truth most people don't want to admit is that female infidelity is not the same as male infidelity. It's not the same act. It doesn't come from the same psychological triggers, and it rarely carries the same consequences. Once you understand the psychology, the biology, and the deeper evolutionary programming behind it, you'll see why her betrayal is far more final than yours ever could be. This isn't about condemning women. This isn't about finger-pointing or blaming. This is about clarity, about seeing reality for what it is, so that you don't waste years of your life fighting for a bond that no longer exists. So if you're ready to hear what society refuses to tell you, stay with me until the end. The double standard society hides. Every culture, every society, every family gathering has an unspoken script about cheating. When a man cheats, the judgment is immediate and merciless. He's branded a liar, a traitor, a disgrace. People say he's weak, selfish, unworthy of trust. His reputation is scarred, and his value as a partner is diminished overnight. But when a woman cheats, the reaction shifts. Suddenly, excuses rush in to soften the blow. She must have been neglected. She was lonely. She wasn't appreciated. She didn't feel loved. The very same act of betrayal that destroys trust is reframed as a cry for help, as if it wasn't a conscious choice, but rather an inevitable consequence of her partner's failures. This double standard didn't appear out of thin air. It reflects something buried deep in the collective human psyche, an instinctive recognition that when a woman cheats, it often means something much more final than when a man cheats. When a man cheats, society still imagines the possibility of reconciliation. He might regret it, apologize, and rebuild. When a woman cheats, there's an almost universal sense that the relationship is already over, whether she admits it or not. That awareness, even if people don't want to say it out loud, is why the moral judgment feels different. Look at divorce courts. A man who strays may lose half of everything he's worked for, paying alimony and child support for years. But a woman who strays can walk away with the same financial reward, and often public sympathy on her side. Look at media. TV shows and movies cast male cheaters as villains, predators, or cowards. But female cheaters, they're portrayed as misunderstood, mistreated, or victims of circumstance. For men, this feels like playing a rigged game, punished more harshly socially and legally, while their partner's betrayal is explained away. The unfairness stings, but it raises an urgent question. Why does this double standard exist at all? To understand that, we have to go deeper, into biology and psychology. The biology of bonding men and women are wired differently when it comes to sex and attachment. For men, it is possible to separate physical intimacy from emotional commitment. A man can make a reckless mistake, engage in a meaningless encounter, and still feel that his loyalty and love belong to his partner at home. It doesn't excuse the betrayal, but it explains why many men still want to fight for their marriage even after cheating. For women, the story is very different. Even if she insists it was just physical, her body disagrees. Here's why. The moment a woman becomes intimate with someone, her brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This powerful chemical is designed to tie her emotionally to the man she's with. It's not optional. It's not about morality. It's hardwired into her biology. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes perfect sense. For most of human history, intimacy for a woman carried the possibility of pregnancy. And pregnancy meant vulnerability. Vulnerability meant needing protection and provision. So women evolved to bond deeply with their partner, because survival, hers and her child's, depended on it. Even in today's world, with birth control and modern systems of support, that ancient programming remains. Her body still reacts as if every partner could be the father of her child. That's why female infidelity carries a devastating weight. When a man cheats, he may step outside his relationship without moving his emotional center. When a woman cheats, she almost always shifts her emotional allegiance. Her loyalty, her bonding, her very sense of love begins to move to the new man. And once that process begins, it's nearly impossible to reverse. Why her switch is so final, one of the most shocking realities about female infidelity is how sudden it feels. For a man, love and desire fade gradually, often over months or years of dissatisfaction. But for a woman, the shift can feel like flipping a switch. One day, she's laughing at your jokes, sharing future plans, leaning into your embrace. The next day, everything about you seems to irritate her. The way you chew, the way you breathe, even habits she once adored. This isn't her consciously deciding to dislike you. This is her biology reprogramming itself. When she bonds with someone new, her brain releases oxytocin, dopamine, and other chemicals that reorganize her emotional landscape. Her attachment to you weakens, while her bond with the other man strengthens. Scientists call this mate switching, an ancient adaptation designed for survival. If her current partner couldn't provide or protect, she needed to detach and attach to someone who could. That mechanism still operates today. The result? Once she bonds with someone else, the emotional engine of your relationship is destroyed. You can buy flowers. You can plan trips. You can have heart-to-heart talks. But none of it reaches her. Not because she's stubborn, but because the bond has already dissolved. And unlike a physical wound, this kind of detachment rarely heals. How affairs begin and why you miss the signs. Infidelity is rarely sudden. Most women don't wake up one morning and cheat. Instead, it unfolds in stages. Emotional preparation, she starts pulling back. Conversations shrink. Affection fades. Arguments appear over small things. She begins mentally rehearsing the story that justifies her exit. I'm unhappy. He doesn't understand me. I deserve better. To physical preparation. Her appearance shifts. New clothes, new perfume, a sudden focus on fitness or grooming. Not for you, but for someone else. Lifestyle changes. Her schedule changes. More late nights. More girls' nights. More new hobbies or work projects. Digital guarding passwords change. Phones are guarded. She gets defensive when you ask simple questions. By the time physical intimacy happens, the emotional exit has already occurred. She didn't fall into the affair. She prepared for it. The rewriting of history, perhaps the most disorienting thing men experience when she cheats, is how quickly the past disappears. Vacations that once felt magical are now described as miserable. Laughter is recast as forced. Years of intimacy are rewritten as empty. This isn't just dishonesty. It's a psychological mechanism called cognitive dissonance reduction. To justify her betrayal, her brain reshapes memories so that the affair feels inevitable, even righteous. She'll say, I haven't been happy in years. I was neglected. I was misunderstood. Whether those claims are accurate or not, she believes them. Because her brain has rewritten the narrative to protect her from guilt. For men, this is devastating. It feels like your history together was erased overnight. Long-term damage infidelity doesn't just destroy the present. It rewires the future. Every bond leaves a chemical imprint, but just like a rubber band stretched too many times, the system loses elasticity. Each new partner makes it harder for her to form a deep, lasting attachment again. That's why studies show that higher numbers of past partners correlate with higher divorce rates. It's not about morality. It's about neurochemistry. Then comes what some call the alpha widow effect. If she ever had a partner who made her feel a peak of passion or intensity, she may compare every future man to that standard. Even if that partner was toxic, the memory lingers. She may never feel fully satisfied again. For men, this means one affair can cast a long shadow over everything that follows. The survival strategies, monkey branching and gaslighting. Many women don't leave until they've secured the next branch, a strategy often called branch swinging or monkey branching. She doesn't want to risk being alone, so she ensures a new relationship is ready before ending the old one. At the same time, she often keeps an orbit of backups, male friends, coworkers, or exes hovering just close enough to be options. A simple message, a like, a conversation can quickly transform into emotional attachment. And if you notice the changes and confront her, you may face gaslighting. You're paranoid. You're controlling. Why don't you trust me? Sometimes she even accuses you of what she's doing. This psychological projection makes men doubt themselves, silencing the very instincts meant to protect them. By the time the truth comes out, she's already secured her replacement. The reality check: the truth is harsh but clear. Male cheating is often impulsive, physical, and repairable. Female cheating is usually emotional, bonded, and final. This doesn't make women villains. It makes them human, following patterns wired by thousands of years of survival. But as a man, you cannot ignore these realities. What men must do. So if you discover she cheated but you still love her, what should you do? Set boundaries. A line so clear it cannot be misunderstood. If she cheats, the relationship ends. No exceptions. No second chances. Once her bond belongs to another man, it cannot truly return. Trust your instincts. If her behavior changes, don't dismiss it. It's not paranoia. It's data. Choose wisely. A woman's history, her respect for boundaries, and her commitment values matter. The choices you make at the beginning often determine the ending. Protect your future. Don't fight for a bond that no longer exists. Instead, invest in building a life where betrayal doesn't define you. At the heart of it, her cheating isn't just a betrayal. It's a replacement. You don't lose because you're unworthy. You lose because the game ended before you even realized it began. That truth may feel brutal, but it's also liberating, because once you accept it, you gain the power to walk away, to rebuild, to create a life where betrayal is not the final word. If this message resonated with you, join the conversation. Subscribe to Silent Secrets for more insights. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and leave a comment with your story. Together, we can build a community where men are no longer blindsided, but empowered with knowledge and strength.